It is now 4 o'clock. I am so excited, you guys. Again, this is Motivational Personalities. I'm very excited that you guys are here. The fact that you're here is like, you're my people. If this is a cool topic for you, I already love you. So I am going to share my screen. There's actually more people here than I even thought there would be, so I'm so pumped. Okay, let's do this. So hold on one sec here while I get this set up to share my screen, and we will get started. So you can let me know in the chat. Oh, a chat note, you guys, make sure your chat is set to everyone and not hosts and panelists. There's a drop down bar right beside the two. I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger. And that way everyone will see your comments. Otherwise, I'm the only one who sees your comments, unless that's all you want. Like if you just want to talk to me, that is fine too. But if you want everyone to see your comments, switch it to everyone. Welcome to Motivational Personalities. Also, please let me know as we go through if any tech problems come up. Just pop it right in that chat there and let me know. I will encourage you guys to take notes. Put things in the chat box if something resonates with you. I heard this at a business coaching seminar thing I was at. If something hits home with you, if you put it in the chat, not only is it going to solidify it for you more, it's going to help other people too, because they're going to see it again and it's going to, get more into their, hopefully, into their heads as well. So if something, feel free to put in there, or if you have extra, other things to add to what I'm saying. I am going to try and have this as a replay up on my YouTube channel, Fit to Right Family. Fingers crossed, all the tech goes well for that. In case you don't get all the notes or whatever that you want to. Okay, let's go. Let's go. So we're going to talk about what your motivational personality is. We're going to talk about 6 different motivational personalities, motivation tools in general that, anyone could try and use, as well as tools specific to each personality. This is definitely for writing and health and fitness or wellness or however you want to put it. So we are all different when it comes to our writing process. We're different when it comes to what motivates us for health and fitness. So we're very complex. There's a very good chance you're going to see yourself in more than one of these personalities. That is a pretty good assumption. This is one of my favorite quotes. As someone who is all about being a motivator for health and wellness and writing, people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. So off the top here, let me just say, do not ever feel bad about having to motivate yourself using tricks and tools. This is, we talked about this a lot in the Get Rid of Creative Exhaustion talk, but it's okay. You don't have to be 110% motivated all the time. I used to think that I had to be for writing. I had, if I wasn't motivated all the time, that meant I wasn't a good writer, or I wasn't a real writer, Yes. Oh, hi. I'm Sandra. Welcome. If this is your first time ever doing a session with me or a talk, or you don't know me at all, can you let me know in the chat? Because I'm just curious to know who has never been in a session with me before. And if you have, I would love it if you just say hi, because we're friends and stuff. If you've seen me before. Hi, Christy says. Hi. Eileen is new. Judy says hi because she's been in everything. I do. Carly. Oh, I like that name. Carly Spencer. That's an excellent name on a book cover. Oh, Kitty's leaving me. I'm moving around and talking too much. Nathan did a writing thing on Facebook. First session. Okay, cool. Mel. Hi, Mel. Hi, Cindy. Your second one. Lena's new. I like that name, Lena, too. One of my favorite fitness competitors when I was first getting into it was named Lena. That's a story you didn't need to hear. Margaret says, hi, Margaret, Christy, hi. And hi, Yoda. He just left. Lena, your chat is set to panelists instead of everyone. So if you want everyone to see your comments, you can switch the little drop-down menu beside the two in the chat to everyone, or you can just talk to me too. That's fine. So yeah, my name is Sandra Wickham. It's so great to meet you. If you've never been in a session with me before, you're in for a treat, I hope. What did Marie say in hers? Buckle up. Buckle up. So teeny bit about me and why I am doing this particular session. So I'm a writer. This is my nonfiction, which is actually available in the viewers room under nonfiction. But I'm also a fiction author. Tons of short stories published. And I have written 7 novels, co-authored one, and I'm diving into self-publishing. I used to be a professional fitness competitor for many, many, many years. Judy says, get ready to take lots of notes. Oh, thanks, Judy. That's a huge compliment because when I go to sessions, I want there to be information that I want to take notes about. If I'm ever on a panel and there's lots of us and I look out in the audience and people are not taking notes, that's when I'm like, okay, we got to step up our game here. Anyway, so I did this competition stuff for 10 years. I had my own bodybuilding show. I coached other athletes. I coached hundreds of these women, bodybuilders, fitness, figure, bikini, to the stage, which is an extreme coaching situation. And I'm also now the founder of Fit to Write. So this is how I came up with these personalities. My own training and training, I could probably say thousands of people. So let's go, y'all. Okay. I am hoping that you see yourselves in some of these, possibly not all of them. When you see yourself in one, let me know in the chat and go, oh, that's me. Or, that's sort of me, or that's not really me. Okay. Let me know. The first one is called the competitor, which is, for those of you who know me, will be not shocked at all to know that this is one of the ones that I relate to and resonate with. So a competitor is someone who enjoys, Christy says, part of me for sure, who enjoys competing against yourself or other people. So it doesn't even mean that you had to be an athlete or, a competitive type person growing up. Even it could just be you like challenges. And you're one of the first people to sign up for a 5-day challenge of whatever, that kind of stuff. NaNoWriMo. It's kind of that competition stuff, right? The National Novel Writing Month. There's also the NYC Midnight Short Story Contest that I've entered. Again, it's a competition, right? With this personality, the best thing that you can think about is what's the worst that can happen. So when I very first started competing in fitness competitions, I was like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I'm going to be any good. And someone, I forget who it was, but a friend at the time said, what's the worst that can happen? You're going to get into great shape. You're going to learn all this stuff about competing. And so what if you don't place or whatever? And I was like, well, that's exactly right. What's the worst that can happen? So if you're a competitor type personality, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? You write more words, and you do not need to win as this personality for this to be an effective personality. And can I just say right now that none of these personalities are superior or better. It's just all different, right? We're all different. I was in a competition, like a bet with a football player in university that I couldn't squat 225 pounds. And, I did succeed, but I did win that one. That's not a good story. Way to go, Wickham. No, what I was going to say with that one is it motivated me to do the training that I had to do to get there. And it didn't really matter to me what the prize was. So that's another way to look at it. That was my point for that one. The prize was like a pitcher of beer or something back in university, right? I trained for months for it. I got so good at squatting and squatting heavy. I didn't care about what the prize was. So it doesn't always have to be some big reward, some big prize either. With this personality, it often doesn't matter if you win. I did this thing with my brother when we were kids, like who could run around the block fastest. I trained and I practiced because my older brother, right? And then he bailed. We never did it. But I got in such good shape and became such a good runner. So again, it doesn't matter if you win. It can affect what happens if you don't win. So you have to be careful with this personality in that you don't let it get you down if you don't win. You don't need to win for it to be something that causes evolution in your life, right? An improvement. Okay. The next one is the alley cat. I love this one. And my cat's gone. So this personality is someone who likes to do things on their own. Oh, these comments are great. Thanks, Judy. So this is someone who doing it by themselves is enough. They don't need someone to compete against. They don't need cheerleading. So like individual type sports, as far as like health and fitness goes, or, you're fine just writing on your own. Think about the proud alley cat up on the fence, singing their heart out just by themselves, and they're good. And I say pride for this one, not ego, which can be sometimes an issue for the competitor, right? Mel, you are a bit of an alley cat. You're okay doing things on your own, right? That's very funny. And you're the cat person too. So this personality enjoys individual pursuits. So say, as far as like an example for health and fitness, you might be someone who likes swimming and just going and swimming in the pool on your own or at the lake or whatever. Or you might like running just by yourself versus like joining a club and swimming with other people and stuff like that. And for writing, you might not be a person who wants to go to a cafe and write with other people. You might be just fine doing it on your own. For this one, I would say try occasionally checking in with others though. Not as an ego thing, like how am I doing compared to other people? Because this personality doesn't need that, but just as a way to be like, oh, I do have other people, like once in a while, check in on the writing groups and stuff like that. Christy says, my husband is an alley cat. Nice. Okay. The administrator, this is the other half of me, y'all. Erin, is that this might be you to the administrator? Let's find out. Oh, the alley cat. Interesting. Okay. So the administrator, these people are your organizers, your journal keepers, your stat keepers, spreadsheet users, someone who loves planning. Christy says, I wish this was me. Oh, we have another husband alley cat. Wow. Okay. So this is someone you like to do lists. You like goal setting. You like often organizing things. And can often be the take charge person. This is a great tip for the administrator, and we'll get into more for each personality later, but a great way to keep motivated for the administrator is to learn new things and then share that with other people. So I guess that could be administrator / teacher as well, right? If you have that personality where you like doing presentations like this, then you are probably an administrator or partly. Robin says so many spreadsheets. I'm an administrator, but not spreadsheets. I'm trying. I'm getting better. Okay. Now, y'all, the gun to my head. Are you ready for this one? I bet you can, kind of guess what it is already, right? So this personality can take us an extreme thing to get them moving. This was my mom who passed in 2016, but she did not like working out. And I would, try to encourage her all the time. No, she just was not, she just wouldn't do it. And then the gentleman she was dating at the time invited her to go to a nude beach in BC. And she called me and was like, help. And I quote this, she said, holy motivation, Batman. So that's what it took. And that's another case where she started working out. It was like, months of eating healthy and working out. And then they never even went to that nude beach. So, but it's okay to be this personality too. Let me just say that. If you're like, this is me, that's fine. You just have to learn how to use it, right? I find that with these personalities, you also need your motivation and your goals to change often, because otherwise it gets stale. That urgency goes away. Deadline driven. Yes. That's a deadline is a gun to your head, right? Excellent. Thanks, Christy. So use your use something big. It has to be big. And like I said, the problem with deadlines too is that if it's too far away, it's not big enough, so there has to be some urgency as well with those deadlines. And that's why it's good to change it often. Like smaller urgent deadlines, maybe that kind of thing. And the not so inner child. This is one of my favorites. This is what I wish I was, but I'm not. But some of you might be. This is the person who cares very little what other people think. So when I say the not so inner child, I mean, it's not their inner child. They just are as free as a child. If you know people like that, they don't care. They'll go. Did you got this? I don't know why this reminds me of this, but the Friends episode, Phoebe and Rachel are running together. And if you're familiar with Friends and you haven't seen this episode, you'll still get it. So Phoebe and Rachel are going for runs, and Phoebe runs like this. Her legs are flying, and Rachel is completely embarrassed because everyone's looking at her and whatever. And so Rachel starts trying to hide from Phoebe and not go running with her, and she's really embarrassed. And then one day she's out running, and Phoebe catches her out running by herself. And they have this little conversation where Phoebe's like, yeah, I know I run like that. I know I run weird. It feels good. It's how I used to run when I was a kid. I don't care what other people think. She's like, try it. And of course, Rachel's not going to do it. And then she kind of looks around, and then she starts doing it too. And she loves it. And so that's this kind of personality. These people also know what they like, and they just want to do it. They don't have to be, talked into things. If they don't want to do that thing, they're not going to do it. They're going to do what they like, right? We're going to talk about setting your own deadlines. And Kim, we're going to talk about that coming up. Oh, good. Christy too. Okay, good. I'm glad. We're going to talk about that later. Setting your own deadlines. One of the issues for this kind of personality, so basically this is like a little kid personality, right? Is that other people might try to tell them to be something else. Like in the Rachel Phoebe situation where Rachel was like, you're embarrassing. You shouldn't run like that. People will come up and kind of try and block that. And mostly, because you've got something they don't, right? That joy of life and that like, screw it, I'm going to do what I want. So yeah, definitely for this kind of personality, ignore those people and just do what you enjoy and keep it fun. Like if you have a weird writing style, you jump all over and write different scenes, or just keep doing it. The inspiration. This is kind of me too. This is someone who is motivated by inspiring others, which is totally fine. This can sometimes be seen as like a selfish thing. Well, you're only doing that so you can be motivated. Well, yeah, it's benefiting both. It's a win-win. These are people who enjoy teaching and sharing, and just giving to others. It's perfectly fine. If that's what motivates you, it's also going to help you. And like I said, it's a win-win. It's going to help you. It's going to help them. Just make sure you don't overgive. That's kind of a whole other thing. But with this personality, make sure it doesn't become all about them, right? Okay, here we go. So I'm going to list all the tools so that in case because it's not necessarily, there's no rules here. Like if there's a tool for a personality that's not you that you're like, I'd like to try that, you can. Okay. There's no like, this is just a way to kind of wrap it up and present it to you guys, and hopefully help you guys with your own personalities. So these are going to be all of them. And then we're going to talk about which ones work for which personalities. Okay. Because I thought this would just be the easiest way to do it. One motivational thing, before and after. This can be for fitness and health and wellness, but it can also be for writing. So Nathan says, I'm all aspects of all of those, but mostly administrator. Yes. Maps, documents, administrator for sure. So before and after. So this can be before photos for wellness, or this can also be a before capture of where you are with your writing. So like right now I'm at 1,000 words in my novel. I'm going to, make note of that. And then in a couple months, I'm going to see where I'm at. Right. So it works with writing and health. We are writers. So this is a good one. Keeping a progress journal. It's kind of like writing to yourself and being like, okay, how is my writing going? How is my wellness? How's my eating? All that stuff. So, keeping a specific journal for that, for motivation and how you're doing. And again, as writers, be careful that this does not become a crutch. And you spend more time journaling than you do writing. Recruit a support group. So these are people who have your best interests at heart. And I said this in another session, but make sure the people that you choose, whether it's one or many, that they actually do have your best interests at heart. So don't pick, I'm going to be blunt here. Don't pick the person who would really like you to still keep going for high calorie coffees and cupcakes every day. If you pick them as your support person, even without meaning it, probably without meaning to do it, they could sabotage your goals, right? Or don't pick the person who is not writing and hasn't written for years, but they spend all their time in writing groups on Facebook. You know what I mean, right? Pick someone that you genuinely know has your best interest at heart. Post up motivational stuff. A lot of times people think of this as just in their writing area. Why not put them on your kitchen cupboard too, or on your bathroom mirror? Like you can do it. Go write a couple words or whatever you want to post. Don't just think it has to be motivational stuff in your zone. This counts for health and fitness too. If you want to put stuff up on your cupboards, your fridge, anywhere in the house, don't worry what other people think. Don't worry. I got stuff all over. I got schedules, vision boards. I got our schedule for this weekend. I got like notes to myself. So that's just putting stuff up. And the other thing I recommend with this one is move stuff around, because you know what happens. And if you've heard me say this already, I apologize, but we put something up and at first we see it and it helps. And then after a few days, we don't see it anymore, right? It's like, I gave the example. It's like preparing something that you have to take somewhere and putting it by the door days ahead of time. And then it's just there. And when it comes to take it, you leave without it because you've been walking past it for days and now you don't see it, right? Move things around, change things up, take them down, put something new. Sign a contract. Now, this can be lots of different things for the different personalities, depending on what personality you are. You could sign a contract with yourself if that works. You can sign a contract that has some sort of financial risk, if you like. Somewhere I heard someone who did a contract with themselves where if they didn't make their goal, they were going to give this much to their favorite charity or something like that. Not their favorite charity. No, sorry. That doesn't work. It was to their least favorite political person. So if they didn't reach their goal, they were going to have to send a check to that politician they didn't like. That doesn't work for me. Might work for, other people. Or sign a contract with your accountability buddy and say, here's what I'm going to do. Can you sign this? And I'll sign it. Okay. So depending on, what personality you are. A check-in questionnaire. I have this resource for you guys. I have a list at the end. I'm going to give you guys a link so you can go and get all these things. Just go and download them. This is so that you can check in partway through. We start off super motivated and then things start to. So this is just to check in with yourself and be like, okay, why did I set this goal in the first place? What is my purpose? All that kind of stuff. Reward yourself. So like in the case of that signing contract, that was like a negative reward. It doesn't work for me. I would change my own rules about that. But positive rewards work for me. Try and make it something other than food, right? If you can. Things like buying craft kits works for me because I can like search for them. I can pick them out. And then if I reach this goal, then I can, buy it for myself, something like that. Doesn't have to cost money, can be something else, Affirmations have gotten kind of a bad rap. I could go off into this for a long time, but I'll try and make this super short. So when something gets really popular, other people come in and bash it because they want to succeed off of the success of that, but do their own thing instead to make more money. Did that come out right? So what they do is they say, this thing's bad. Don't do this anymore. Do my thing and buy my thing instead. Right. So that's part of the reason why affirmations, but I call them mindset questions a lot of the times now because it's, we're writers, we know words have meaning. So saying positive things to yourself has meaning. But the other part of it is when you read an affirmation, how do you feel about it? And that's a way to get into that stuff in there. Like, I am a creative person, or, something simple like that. Like, how do you feel when you actually say that out loud? You can get into, some of our stuff in there. Re-examine reasons. That's kind of like the check-in questionnaire. This one is write a letter to someone, and this can be sent or not sent. It can be to someone alive or not alive. But a way for you to thank someone for inspiring you, to thank them, explain to them why they inspired you. This is, if you send it, they would probably love it. You don't have to send it, but it's a way for you to remember those feelings and get back into that zone. Someone who has inspired you or someone that you wish to inspire as well. So again, you can see how these are going to be different for different personalities, right? I think that's it. Yeah. Judy says, magnetize items on my garage door. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get into the tools for each personality. I was a little bit late in the chat there. Sorry, guys. So if you feel you're a competitor at all, even a little bit, here's some of the tools that I think are best for you. Definitely before and after, because you're competing against yourself with these, whether it's word count, number of editing pages, like I've only edited 3 chapters. I'm gonna screenshot that. And then I want to have this many pages done, that kind of thing. Or with health and fitness, do the photos, do the befores. They're supposed to be bad. Don't worry. Definitely motivational items. Competitors like cheerleading, right? So having motivational stuff will help for this kind of personality. Signing a contract, again, because if you're super competitive like moi, simply signing a contract with someone else or even myself is really powerful. So, and a reward, because competitors like trophies. We like there to be a finish line and a reward. So that's definitely Alley Cat tools. The check-in questionnaire. And again, I actually have this questionnaire that you guys can download later if you want. This one is good for the Alley Cat because it doesn't require anybody else, right? This is just you checking in with yourself. This writing a letter to someone kind of ties into the pride part of an Alley Cat. I felt like I was just doing cat things there. Yeah. But it's also a solitary kind of activity, and you can send it or not send it. Writing a letter to someone is kind of, you just do it on your own. And if you want to send it, you can. But it can also be a way to be like, I'm really proud of myself. I want to share this with you. is not a bad thing. To be proud of yourself, by the way. It's not bragging. It's just celebrating. I really want to I'm proud of myself. I want to share this pride with you and what I've accomplished. That's an alley cat kind of thing. And you can do it to someone you wish to inspire. Again, because alley cats don't often go in groups, but there still might be someone you want to inspire. And that would be kind of like a one-to-one thing. And rewards too. I think alley cats, because they're solitary, rewarding yourself can be like, yeah, good job, me. And again, signing a contract with yourself, not someone else, because you don't need someone else's input to be successful, right? Administrator. Do you like my little pictures? I may have spent too long putting slides together for this weekend. Before and after, because that's, especially if it's in regards to the writing part of your life, before and after will be motivating because you get to keep track, right? Put in a spreadsheet, use those spreadsheets. Keep a progress journal, definitely. Recruit a support. Thank you. Recruit a support group. I'm actually kind of surprised I put this one in administrator. But now my brain is like, was that a mistake or was there something I was thinking? Let me see what the next one is. Motivational items. Yeah, I know what I was thinking. Check-in questionnaire, definitely, because that's kind of like an administrative task, right? I think what I was thinking for this one is that as an administrator, you will probably want to try them all. You will probably be like, I should do that. I think the recruiter support group is just that administrators like other people around. They're not usually loners. They're not usually lone wolves. But yeah, as an administrator, you're going to want to try them all. And that's fine. A gun to my head. Okay. Before and after, because this can be scary. Before and afters, especially with health and fitness, like before and afters can be scary. Also brings perspective to these people because sometimes they don't, I'm not going to say they don't care enough about themselves, but they maybe don't prioritize themselves. So doing something like this will kind of clarify where they're at and where they need to go. Does that make sense? Eileen says, definitely an administrator who is also a lone wolf. So you're like kind of like an administrator alley cat. Yes. Gun to my head. If you're going to do the sign a contract one, which I think is excellent for this personality type, make it something big. Like I was talking about that person who, if they didn't get it, their goal, they were going to send a check to their most hated politician. And you don't have to do a negative reward, but something big has got to be on the line. Big. Take your favorite thing you own, whatever it is, and put it on the line. Like, look, like, oh, if I don't get my editing done, I'm going to give this to my best friend or something like that. You know what I mean? It's got to be big. It's got to mean something. Christy says there's a site called BeMinder. You have to pay if you don't meet your goals. Do they take your money for that? Do they get the money? I'm going to start doing that. Yes. All right, y'all. Fit to Write is now going to do that. Kim says I should probably look that up. But yeah, and plus, Judy says, sorry, I'm too cheap. Yeah. If you're handing your money over, and that's a big deal, right? Maybe we can think of something that's not monetary. If you guys think of big, what's the word? Big risks? No, big items, big things to lay on the line for this kind of personality, throw them in the chat. And it does, like, because that's a different personality, right? Like someone who wants to risk a bunch of money, that's not really me, but I would risk something else. Like I would risk like my little crystal thing you know what I mean? So something that is on the line that's big besides money. If you have ideas for that, put them in the chat. And of course, for this personality, a support group. Because you're going to need cheerleading. You're going to need poking and prodding, right? To stick with it. Motivational items. In this case, it's like anything that's going to help. Do it and reward yourself because you deserve it. So that works well for this personality as well. Because this personality kind of doesn't want to do it in the first place, right? So you need something to shoot for. So for this is the only thing I could do for a picture for this one. So if you're the little kid personality, use affirmations that are fun. And this is to kind of reassure yourself that it's okay to do your own thing and not listen to what other people are trying to tell you to bring you down, right? It's important that you don't lose that. Support group, sure. Motivational items, absolutely, but they got to be fun. It's got to be fun. And writing a letter to someone, because this personality has a big heart too, right? Big heart. So write a letter to someone who's inspired you. And just, be open about it and let your heart out there, and that'll be very motivational for you. And rewards, little kids like rewards and treats, right? So if you're this personality, I hope there's some of you in here because this is a great personality, then reward yourself with something fun. Okay, if you are the inspiration, and again, this is the only symbol I could think of, you're like the sun. If you're this person, affirmations, but inspiring ones. So for the little kid, the inner child, the not so inner child personality, your affirmations would be more about doing what you love and, focusing on yourself and being true to yourself. Whereas the inspiration is probably going to be looking for more affirmations that are more like, you've got this. And, that kind of thing. You can change the world or, whatever. You know what I mean? Motivational items. Yes, obviously. And you are probably into motivational type items if you are this personality. So that should be easy. Obviously, if you're the inspiration personality, you would definitely benefit from writing these letters. I did this letter writing thing about my writing, and I wrote a letter to my grandmother who is no longer with us. It was actually my mom's mom, and neither of them are with us anymore. But when I was 9 years old, I wrote a novel, and my grandmother typed it out on her typewriter, clickety clack, onto little, I think I have it, onto little book-sized pages. I just recently got it back from my parents. Look at how cute. I don't know if you can see, there's a lot of glare on there, but you get the idea. It's typewritten on these little, right? So I can feel myself tearing up right now, but I wrote a letter to my grandmother, thanking her for doing this. And here come the tears, and just how much that meant to me, and how much like her faith in me when I was 9 to take all that time to type it out for me, and how that has definitely stayed with me this entire time. So do these letters and reward yourself with something awesome, as an inspiration personality. Something nice, like a light up infuser, something inspiring. All right, let's get into these now. This is for everyone, because no matter what personality you are, you're going to hit roadblocks. We just do. So let's talk about, Kim says she teared up as well. I did really well there to keep it in, but yeah. So roadblocks are going to happen. They may happen from overdoing it. This goes for writing and health and fitness equally. You can hit some giant roadblocks. Let's talk about health and fitness first. Overtraining. You get excited and you are doing too much in the beginning and you start overtraining. And that means you're going to get injuries. You're going to get sick. You're going to not feel like eating. You're not going to be sleeping well. You don't feel like working out. All that stuff is overtraining because you've overdone it. Same thing with writing, right? We've got to take some breaks, fill our well. Has anyone done NaNoWriMo? Tell me in the comments if you have tried Nano, done it, finished it, started it, whatever. If you even attempted it, let me know. Yeah, lots of nano people. Yay. I think I've done it 3 times. I've won it, completed it 3 times. After NaNoWriMo, I need a frickin' break. And if I don't take it, I'm a complete burnout. So don't overdo it. And if you do find yourself in that position, take a break. Sabotage. Now, 2 kinds of sabotage, right? Your own sabotage. We are going to dig super deep into this in the next session, the Feel Right Again session. All those things we do to ourselves to keep ourselves down, which is silly, right? Watch out for self-sabotage because you're afraid of failure, success, what your friends and family will think of your writing, what reviewers will say, all that kind of stuff, right? And then also, you will likely run into sabotage from others. And depending who's in your circle, who you have in your life, this could be on purpose or not even on purpose, but they're still doing it. Like I said, that friend that likes to go for cupcakes every day, they might just miss you if you've stopped doing that. And so they keep asking you to go for cupcakes, right? They're not meaning to sabotage you, but that's what's happening, right? Did someone ask what nano is? Kim, the word count's too high. Yeah. So that's not your thing, right? Oh, I love this conversation, you guys. Okay. So watch out for other people. That person who would rather have your time than you spend that time writing might purposely or not purposely sabotage your writing pursuits, right? Excuse me. Not having the time. This is partly a prioritizing it thing. Let's see if I said anything else. No. But it's also something we use as an excuse. Excuse isn't the right word. We use as a reason to not write or not look after ourselves. So let's say you've got we all have fears about our writing. So could it be that those fears are making you say, I don't have time to write. I don't have time to write. But really what it is, it's your fear of being a failure or all that kind of stuff, right? So watch for that for one thing, and then also try and prioritize your writing and your health. As hard as that can be for us sometimes, prioritize your health and your writing, because your writing is part of your health. Your writing, I know if you're here, you're at this, this weekend, writing is important to you. It's something that's deep inside you. You don't feel good when you don't write. So it is important. It's not just a hobby. It's important to your well-being. So this is me giving you permission to prioritize your writing and your health. And I said this in the last session or 2 sessions ago. When it comes to time, the grandmaster in our dojo, I will never, ever forget this. And I repeat it to people a lot. We were in the dojo and it was time for stretching. And I think some people were like leaving early and not doing their stretch or something. And grandmaster said that was one of the biggest things he heard, is that people don't have time to stretch. They don't have time. They don't have time to stretch. And he said, I guarantee you there is at least 15 minutes a day that you're either wasting or investing unwisely. Let me say that again. And I always repeat it because it's just like mic drop. I guarantee you there's 15 minutes a day that you're either wasting or investing unwisely. Do you think that might be the case for you? And if so, grab that 15 minutes and use it for writing or your wellness. Oh, everyone runs into this, right? Impatience. I'm not like, this is health and fitness and writing. I'm not getting where I want to be fast enough. I'm not reaching my goals fast enough. I'm just discouraged and then this spiral thing happens, right? So you're like, nothing's happening. I'm discouraged. I must suck. I hate this. I'm going to quit. It just collapses in on itself. And boredom as well. If you're one of the personalities that gets bored easily, it's gonna end up being a roadblock for you. Limiting TV time is excellent. No. And then there's the other issue of just not knowing what to do. So sometimes you run into roadblocks because of that. And that's when I would encourage you to reach out and get help, whether it's health and fitness, wellness, writing. If something like that is keeping you stuck, ask for help. Don't be shy. Ask for help. Ask your writing friends. Ask your, people that you trust. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay. So here are the tools. If you go, I think I can actually put this in the chat for you guys. Let me see if I can. Oh no, because then it'll change my screen. Can I type it? Yes. So I have a bunch of the tools that I mentioned on my website for you guys. The contract, I'm trying to think what else is there. The questionnaire, there's 5 reasons. So that's like examining your reasons again. And I think affirmations. So just go here and you can download those. There's other stuff there as well, because I realized with all these talks I'm doing all weekend, there was a lot of stuff I wanted to hand out and stuff. So it's all on one page. Let me see here. This productivity hacks and the Write More with Brain Boosting desk breaks, those are ones that you have to sign up for because that's the way my system is set up. Oh yeah, and there's the YouTube channel. Oh, thanks, Judy. So if you want the productivity hacks or the brain boosting desk breaks, that is a kind of thing where you put in your email. So they're free. It's going to cost you your email address and you'll join my mailing list. But I promise I rarely send stuff out. And it's usually like, here's what's going on, free stuff or, programs or whatever. The Feel Right Again presentation notes is actually for the next presentation that I'm doing, but you're free to, have those as well. And I think there's something else there that I'm missing. And then there's all these motivational tools as well. And we just did a poetry. If you're at all into poetry, we just did a poetry workshop with Sally. And she has 5 handouts that I'm going to add to that as well. There's 1 so far, but there's other ones I'm going to add as well. And then this is the YouTube channel. I just changed it over to Fit to Write Family. It used to be just Workout with Wickham. That's a story as well. But when I first moved here, my plan was to niche as at-home workouts because I've been working out at home for the last 7 years since I had my kiddo. And then COVID hit and then everyone became an expert at home workouts. So I was like, okay, this is not working. So then during COVID, I started Fit to Write. So now I am changing the YouTube channel over. And my hope is that these sessions that I've done here at the Wonderful When Worlds Collide will be up as replays on that channel. So fingers crossed for me, everybody. So I hope that was useful, you guys. Thank you so much. Put your questions in the chat. When he says this was so interesting, I'm an alley cat and not so inner child. Yay! Oh, I'm so glad we had one of you. Wow, excellent. Oh, I love it. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, and here's a plug for my book. I'm glad I put this slide in because I never would remember. Because we don't like to toot our own horn, right? This is my workbook for writers, which we are getting into in the next session. This is in the dealer's room here under nonfiction. Thanks, Kim. I'm glad you thought it was cool. This, if you guys if you liked this conversation and other ones that we've been doing in the Fit to Write programming here, come join us in the Facebook group, Fit to Write. We do all this fun stuff. Like I bring in other writers to do talks, which are still available there. You can go into the guides and you can see stuff that's already been done. I post recipes and health tips, but then we also do a lot of writing stuff and word games and write-ins and all that kind of stuff. What else have I got here? Just my site. Okay, that's it. And then these are your resources there. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Awesome. Linda, you are so welcome. Thanks, Mel. I'm glad it was helpful. You are welcome. Eileen, thank you guys for participating in the chat as well. Yeah, I'm going to invite you guys to come to the next session. I know there's lots going on and I appreciate you spending your time with me. The next one is Feel Right Again, which is going to be kind of in depth, like bring some tissues with you. Nathan, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's fun. And I don't want to let you go. I'm always like that at the end. I'm always like, oh, what if I forgot to say something that I wanted to say? But I hope this has helped. You can always reach out to me either in the Facebook group or through my website. My email address is there. So we can always keep this conversation going. And have a fabulous rest of your festival. I know it's almost done. And I will see you either in the next session or online somewhere. Thanks for being here, you guys.